the politics and the policies of the Democratic establishment are no longer good enough.
If a new world is truly to be born, then where else should it be born than right here in New York? And when we win these elections on June 23rd, let it be heard by every member of Congress who believes incumbency is a substitute for action. Let it be heard by every oligarch who thinks that greed can go unchecked, that politicians can be bought, that this city and this country have a price.
Mayor Mamdani is taking his socialist movement beyond City Hall, teaming up with Bernie Sanders, backing a slate of progressive, no, can we call them communist candidates? David goes yes, looking to take on Democrat incumbents in Congress. But this is more than just a few primary races. It's a fight over the future of the Democrat Party. Mamdani is betting that voters are done with establishment politics, saying frustration over the cost of living can fuel a new far-left coalition. What was he talking about, David, in that piece of sound about I'm paraphrasing, the revolution begins right here in New York City? And I thought to myself, all people really wanted was you to clean up the city and make it a little more affordable. Did they really vote for you thinking that you were the second coming of Lenin or Stalin?
He doesn't care. What he cares about are his Marxist policies. That's what he cares about. He cared about getting elected, and he tried to smile his way through the probing questions that would have revealed some of that. But it's so clear. I mean, this goes so far beyond progressive, goes so far beyond socialist, frankly. This is pure Marxism. I mean, you just look at some of the things that the people that he's now support. The woman Chevalier, who's running for Congress against a more mainstream progressive candidate who's supported, by the way, by Hakeem Jeffries and the establishment Democratic Party. She's for, quote, and I'm quoting her, seizing the means of production. She's for seizing all properties from landlords. And at one point she said, communism now. Communism now. Now, Mamdani's a little smarter. He knows it's not now. He talked about seizing private property in the past, decommodifying private property, which is the Marxist term for taking the tradable value of an asset out of that asset and handing it to the government. That's what decommodify means. He said that before, but he's for doing it in a more paced way. But his housing czar, remember her name is Chia Weaver, she calls home ownership a, quote, weapon of white supremacy. And bottom line is Americans, 91% of Americans, they waver on whether they like capitalism or whether socialism is at all acceptable. But when it comes to private property, this is according to a Harris-Harvard poll, 91% of Americans strongly support the concept of private property and the protection of private property. So that might work in little isolated covens of these people, but not with the American public. That's why, for the American country in general, I think a lot of Democrats are kind of scared of where these Marxists go from here.
Brian, I thought about you today.
When you hear the word Marxist, you think of me? I think that's unfair.
Close. Almost.
Communist.
You got what you wanted. Citadel CEO Ken Griffin put out a note saying we should stay and fight for the city.
He did.
And it's exactly what you wanted. He came out and he said everything should be viewed through the lens of Citadel. Everything should be viewed through the lens of Citadel will be here far longer than he'll be mayor. Stay and fight.
Okay. So what's he going to do?
Long game.
What's he going to do? How's he going to fight?
I don't know.
Is he going to be funding some alternative candidates or speaking out?
But what I liked is that he said, calling on business leaders and saying, we're not going to let this guy drive us out. Now, how he fights, I think, is a totally different story. But you and I were having this debate of, do you quit and say, I'm done, I'm not going to fight, it's not worth it, you're crazy. Let me go to greener pastures. It's my fiduciary duty to go to where my capital is treated best.
And treat your employees properly and get the hell out of here.
Or do you stay and fight? And I finally, I think, maybe you got some vindication this morning that he said, maybe we'll stay and fight. And what does that mean for the city, I think is another
Well,
question
that's
I have.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, somebody, when everything falls apart, somebody's got to be here to say there's a better way. Maybe that's how you stay and then fight. I do think it's interesting, though. I don't know. The question is, are these leftists popular everywhere? Is this a nationwide surge? Or is this just happening in the bluest of places where there's no competition? I do think your leftists are right about one thing. They start their pitch by saying the establishment Democrats have failed. And they're actually right about that.
Yeah,
they
of
have
course.
failed.
Yep.
The problem is the Marxists double down on the things that the old-fashioned Democrats failed on, right? They don't have a better plan.
Yeah.
But they are right. The establishment Democrats have failed. And I'm glad to hear that Ken Griffin is going to fight. I'm glad to hear somebody's going to stay here and want to reclaim the city once Mamdani has failed to deliver every promise he's made.
I love the energy around all of this and the excitement that you have and Brian has, but this is just a math problem. If progressive promises are going to be fulfilled, they have to be funded. And if you take away all the people that pay the bills, it doesn't matter. And I think there's confusion from the progressives that everybody else is not in favor of more affordable housing, better social services. Nobody is saying we don't want to help people and we want things to be more expensive. What people are saying is there has to be prosperity, there has to be jobs, there has to be economic expansion, and that's how it all happens. And the city's not getting gutted. It will never get gutted. But I also believe that Ken Griffin knows that all the people that moved to Florida still have homes here. There is property that needs to be sold. And if the city continues to decline, how does that property get sold? Ultimately?
What if it
Cheaply.
doesn't, though?
Yeah.
Dig, and I don't want to step on your toes here, but one, debate I had is, and I live here, I want to see the city succeed. I have young children. I care deeply about safety and crime. But the longer those people still have homes here and keep paying the pied-à-terre tax or keep funneling the money, the longer this gimmick goes on. And I'm kind of questioning, is it better for people to leave? We can get a big decline, but then a big recovery when the new folks come in, and hurry and get this experiment over with.
You're making
my
it sound
kids
like acne. It just has to get worse before it gets better.
I'm not sure how we vote him out until it gets worse, because my friends on the left will vote for him with their eyes closed as long as this is the outcome. They're
Even
okay
as members
with
of their
this.
family in New York start to get shot.
But that's it. The linchpin, David hit it. The linchpin in all of this, like a grenade, is the safety, is the police department, and Mamdani has Jesse Tisch running the NYPD. She does a terrific job. And as long as crime is under control, then the city will continue to function and probably prosper. Because you go back 35 years, thereabouts, there were more than 2,200 murders in New York City. So you've got a long way to go and regress before it gets back to the bad old days. Coming up, you were asked, and we're answering our Friday segment.